good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you may be. It's Robbie. We back with another video game. What's going on with y'all? How y'all doing out there? This one is going to be from Hello Yasin, and it's going to be about some streamer. I don't know who the streamer is, but apparently he feels entitled, and he is shitting on the 9 to 5. Now, for those that know, I still work a 9 to 5. I got a day job. In fact, when I get done recording this video, I'm going straight to that job. You know what I'm saying? We got to get the money however we can get it, you know, within reason. So we're not gonna waste no time. Let's get straight to this video. Make sure you like, sub to the channel. Let's get to it, y'all.
What's poppin', y'all? Streamers have a complete and utter lack of empathy, at least a lot of them. Because in this recent clip, BenDaDonnn, who is some guy that was initially an IG comedian, he's tight with Drake, he's got a lot of money. In this clip, he completely and utterly disrespects a security guard in front of this girl, and this girl hops on it too. And I'm gonna play you guys that clip right now. This irritates me.
You security? How you get this job?
Why?
Huh? Applied?
Come on, man. We're recording it. You're leaving. Yeah.
We walking out.
Once you're down there, it's fine to not. Just ignore it.
Yeah. Bro, what is you calling shit in for? Saggy outfit wearing. Kiss my ass. I don't give a damn.
Why she look like Lotto a little bit?
Somewhere.
Yeah, no, we don't have to be nice. You don't always, life's not about always being nice.
So off rip, number one, this guy, BenDaDonnn, he is up. I mean, he was one of the most popular clips around this guy is that he buys chrome hearts and he has a closet full of chrome hearts, which is like, I don't know, like $10,000 for each pair of jeans because they don't go down in value, which is actually kind of smart. Or he says they go up in value, which, yeah, it is kind of smart to be honest. But the point is, this guy, I think at one point, how he made the majority of his money was via managing OF chicks. He's very cool with Ari. He has a lot. I think he's very cool with Ruby Rose. He has a lot of homegirls, and that we have to give him some credit here. He keeps these chicks as his homegirls. He even talks about like, yo, I'm not trying to crack these chicks. These are my homegirls. So he's able to maintain those relationships, which are very beneficial to him, not only on a social level, but also on a social media level, because he's collaborating with these chicks. They're turning him up. He's a funny guy. He is a very funny and entertaining guy. He's also done a lot of
I never watched any of his videos.
Aiden Ross's boxing events. But the point is that this guy made a bunch of money off of the OF stuff, because the point I'm trying to make here is that IG comedy thing did not really make bread for many people. Like RDC, they came out of it and they knew how to monetize and they killed it. And they're still crushing it. So what, 10 years later? No, maybe 11 years. But
that's kind of like another reason why I do get on Instagram to just save certain posts that I may like, that I might want to go back and reference just to get a good laugh, or maybe some art that might have inspired me to make my own art. But other than that, there's no money on Instagram at all. Like, unless you already have like a cult following and you have like a link tree to take them to your website where they can buy your goods, there's no money on there. Just from making your content, there's no money. Like, that's why a lot of people are trying to pivot and hit up YouTube, but this ain't easy.
People like Dooley, if you guys remember, he was the OG Twitter video guy, the Somali guy from the DMV. I think he was from Baltimore, actually. So this guy, Dooley Funny, he was the first guy to pop off on Twitter videos when Twitter had just introduced videos. And then there were other guys like Lean and Cuisine. These people never got up like BenDaDonnn. So BenDaDonnn made his money on the OF stuff. And it was the timing of things. Streaming wasn't as huge. So he's in the streaming game. He's killing it. And then this entitlement, which Agent has displayed this as well. And it's a complete lack of empathy. Because number one, you got to analyze, how is the security guard treating this situation? The security guard, he even said like, listen, man, you know, once you go down there, you're fine. And he's like, nah. And he just starts insulting the security guard. Like, do you think the security guard is getting enjoyment out of telling you that you're not allowed to record in a mall? The guy's just trying to get through.
No, I'm not going to lie. You know, I don't, disrespect, like, that's your job, you know what I'm saying? And I can understand. I know you don't mean no malice behind it. This is what you've been instructed to do. If you see somebody with a camera, instruct them to put their camera away until they are off the mall premises. I do, however, kind of feel like it's a little messed up, because you are a content creator. You know, if you're a streamer or anything like that, and you recording live and in person is a part of your everyday, and you decide that you want to go to the mall and you can't record, I'm trying to figure out what is the issue with recording inside the mall. Is it that these store owners don't want people to see what it is that they're selling in there, and they'd rather people come in there to see for themselves. Because if you are watching somebody in real time going to say like Lenox Mall, because Lenox Mall in particular, they don't allow you to record in there. I think one of my vlogs I did record in there, but this was before they was on the BS. This was like a year or two ago. So they've since changed their rules. I don't know how I was able to get away with that, but needless to say, you go to Linux right now, you can't record in there with a camera. So it's a little messed up. And I don't know if that's because they don't want people to just see what's in there, but yeah, as far as the security guard, he's just doing his job. He means nothing by it.
Through his shift. I mean, there's probably some of y'all that are watching this that probably do security. Some of y'all probably got the night shift, so you got the finesse. You're like, yo, I'm doing security at the hotel at the night shift. Maybe you're at the front desk, and you're like, yo, I get to watch stuff, I get to study stuff, I get to listen to stuff overnight, and I'm getting paid to do it. This is a great gig, and it is a great gig. Just don't get trapped in that gig. Always keep looking forward. But the point is, the security guard, when he sees a streamer come in, there is a heavy sigh. And this is where I'm saying these people lack empathy. They've been too far removed from 9 to 5 for too long. This is why I keep myself in my mama's basement, so I remember what it's like. Granted, it is really expensive to live on your own, so I ain't got bread like that. But you think about it. Okay, let's say I'm a security guard. What perception of streamers does the average person have? Because streaming is very popular right now. They're seeing crazy clips. They're seeing people smacking each other. They're only seeing the wildest stuff. So somebody being followed by a cameraman into the establishment, into the mall, there is a heavy sigh. He's like, oh man, I'm going to have to go up and tell this person to stop recording. Do you think they want to do that? Of course they don't want to do it, especially this guy. Now, there are some people that they want to do that. They want to make things more difficult for you.
It was only a matter of time before the world of streaming got diluted with crash outs. It was only a matter of time because shock value is what generates numbers. People want to see people doing jackass type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, just thought I'd throw that out there. Let's continue.
May be able to record there, and they're like, oh, who gave you permission to record? So they will go through this whole thing like a Karen type of individual. But this guy, he was clearly not that. So what else is he supposed to do? Is he supposed to just let you record? And then what? And then his boss or supervisor are going to be like, yo, these guys walked right past you, and you didn't tell them to stop recording. So now you want him to sacrifice. This is the only other option. You want him to potentially sacrifice losing his job so you can continue streaming and making a ton of money. Meanwhile, clearly, if he's working a security job, he's either in school, maybe he's in between jobs, maybe he's waiting for another option, maybe he's, I don't know, this
possibly
career path that has an upwards trajectory. And he even treated you nice enough to say like, hey, look, man, you just get down there and you can record. I'm doing my job. And then the nerve of this light-skinned chick to come out and talk about, oh, you don't have to be nice to everybody. This guy was nice to you. You don't have to be nice to everybody. Why? Because you didn't get to do what you wanted to do? Get the hell out of here, man. And this is one thing that I love skate culture. Absolutely adore skate culture. Like, I grew up on it. I watched the old stuff, grew up playing the skate games. But one thing that was irritating was how, like, kind of skaters would villainize, like, security, because the security was just trying to do their job too. But sometimes they're at a skate spot that's sick. They're trying to get a trick, and then, the security guard messes it up. However, there are two different kinds of security guards in that scenario. There are times when the security guard does something that puts the skater's health and safety at risk. Like, sometimes the security will just stand in the bottom of a railway and staircase while the person's trying to grind down the rail.
That's dangerous.
That is very dangerous. You could cause someone crazy danger, especially because they don't expect you to be there, or trying to kick them off the skateboard. Like, there was crazy moments like that in different skate parks. You could look them up. If you know, and you don't need to look them up. And if you don't know, then you won't know what to look up. But yeah. And then there were security guards that are like, hey, look, you can't do this. And then they would say, okay, look, yo, give us one more time. And, the security guard looks around. And he's like, all right. One more time. You got to hit it this time. Just so the security guard doesn't lose his job, because he's just trying to protect his.
Yeah, because if I lose my job, are you going to make sure my bills get paid? I get fed. If I have a family, are you going to make sure my kids and my wife get fed? No, you can barely take care of yourself. You're just now trying to get your career or your passion off the ground. So take that somewhere else, you know what I'm saying? Or do it when I'm not here. You feel me? But while I'm on the clock, listen, These are the rules. You can't be out here doing this nonsense. And that's the part that a lot of people just don't understand. I'm neutral in everything, in a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? I try to understand both sides, but we got to find a middle ground. You know what I'm saying?
Income source. Now that's skating is a different story because these people are taking high risk, right? And let's keep it frank, skating is cooler than streaming. So for these guys, and then he just starts insulting the guy too, where you're like, yeah, man, this ugly ass dude, saggy pants. It's like, dog, really? Like this guy is a lot closer to the majority of your viewers than they are to you. Because if somebody's up like you, they would either be streaming themselves or be very busy, so they can't tune into your streams like that. So it's probably young people watching you,
This
the people that think
off-brand
that
lotto.
it's funny that you're trying to rail on this dude, and you're putting him on live stream as well, which is another story. A lot of people don't want to be on live stream, and this is why the average person, things have completely changed. The average person sees a camera and their cortisol spikes.
It's only a matter of time before
pun
streamers-
intended. Their cortisol spikes
before
their
their numbers start
anxiety rises,
dwindling.
because in their mind, from what they've seen on their feeds, this is either a moment that somebody's going to try to embarrass me. This might turn into something violent. This is going to, I'm going to be humiliated in some sort of way, and it's going to spread, and a bunch of comments are going to be made about me by strangers that I don't even know. And that's exactly what probably happened in the chat. Like in the replies to this tweet, people are like, yo, what the hell is wrong with this guy? Partially because of how it's framed. But in the comments of BenDaDonn's Twitch section, especially if it's kids, they're probably just looking at it like, yo, this guy's cucking our content. He's messing up our content, man. Get the hell out the way. We're trying to watch him be entertained. That's what a kid's gonna think. So this was whack behavior from both BenDaDonnn and from that chick, Yana. And that chick should know better because I think she just got lit this year. So to be doing this type of activity I
don't know
think
her.
the worst part is when she's like, we don't gotta be nice to him. He was nice to you, or is nice to you, allowing you to do whatever you want. And
Basically.
self-harming damn near, because that guy would be putting his job in jeopardy. Like, yo, we gotta, just a bare minimum level of empathy for people that have to work these jobs. Like, he's not excited waking up in the morning like, I hope a streamer comes in so I can tell him that he's not allowed to record and he can go record downstairs. That's where that statement in particular is exactly where you know that he was telling somebody that he probably watches streams, keeping it a buck on his shift, but he's just like, hey, listen, man, you can film somewhere else. And these are rules. Like, there are certain mall chains that have the rules of, oh yeah, you can't film in there. Especially
Lennox, Perimeter
there's
Mall,
professional
Cumberland
filming,
Mall,
'cause a lot
if you
of these
live
guys
in Metro
now,
Atlanta.
they walk around with DSLR cameras versus the old school IRL streaming that came before them, which still Ice Poseidon still walks around with this weird setup, but I think he still has like a selfie stick and an iPhone. That's different. So back when people used to stream with the Samsung Galaxy S23 or whatever it was, they would be streaming on a phone. People wouldn't even think it was streaming because somebody wasn't following them around with a camera and a light pointed at them, where it's like, yo, is this a TV show being filmed? So they could get away with it kind of like inconspicuous. They're like, oh, this person might just be recording. We don't even really know, because filming with your phone is seen as different than filming with like professional grade setup. So that's also something that maybe BenDaDonnn should think about. Okay, we're going to go into a public area where they may not want us to film. I think these guys aren't going in with the selfie stick. They are too Hollywood for that now. They need their cameramen. So, hey, maybe you go around you try the phone, or you ask the guy like, yo, could we film with a phone, or could we record ourselves with a phone? And then you might be allowed
Find
to.
an
But
alternative.
This is just something to think of for the future. My problem-solving mind, that's just the first place it goes. But let me know what y'all think about this. Do you think this guy deserves...
All right, that's the end of the video. So I will say this. Streaming is the it thing right now. It's kind of like how rap was in the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s. It was a big deal to be a rapper. Like, everybody was in your face. You had the star power, and everybody glazed you, as they say nowadays. Now, streamers, they are essentially the new rappers. And right now, it's up for anybody who is streaming, like your Speeds. I would say Kai Cenat as well, Aiden Ross, this guy apparently. So if you're in the streaming space, you're doing pretty good. But as with anything, as we've all seen through history, people grow tired of certain things. And eventually streaming may get to a point where no one's interested. As those kids start to get older and they start to take interest in other things, Now you got to hope that they will continue to watch you through and through when they become adults. So that's something to think about. You know what I'm saying? I just hope that these cats who stream, because even I might get into streaming possibly, but you got to be ready for the next thing. You got to be ready to pivot when it's time for you to gain a new audience, when your older audience no longer is interested in what you're doing, because it's bound to happen. You know what I'm saying? But y'all get down in the comments. Y'all let me know if, these streamers might be getting a little big headed, be getting, a little too full of themselves and starting to forget where they came from, and they're too out of touch with reality now. Y'all let me know down in the comments. Like I always say, I appreciate y'all when y'all watch these videos all the way through and through. I put a lot into them. And until the next video, yo, it's your boy Robbie. I'm out.